It's a complete change of life for dementia residents and dementia units, and they often don't cope because everything is so utterly unfamiliar. There's nothing familiar at all about it, and unless the person has an adjustment period, it's difficult to manage. So there needs to be a 3-step process in place for the person to be able to cope and manage. Firstly, it needs to be explained to them why they are in the dementia unit. Secondly, they need to be orientated to the dementia unit. And thirdly, orientated to the fact of where the dementia unit is in terms of the retirement village. So say you're the granddaughter and you're explaining to Granny why she's there, then you sit her down comfortably in a nice place, maybe in the sun, and explain the reasons that it's because of her memory loss that she's in the dementia unit. That, you can say, look, Granny, the reason why you're here is because your memory has been getting worse. And she may well say, oh, well, dear, yes, I know, I've never had a good memory. So from that, you say, well, what's been happening lately, Granny, is that you've been losing your way. Now that you're living on your own, Granddad died like 10 years ago, and now that you're living on your own and with your memory loss, what's been happening is you've been walking out into the street to go shopping or to see a friend or whatever, and then you're losing your way. And, once or twice the police have had to pick you up, and that's been very stressful. She may well remember 1 or 2 of those instances, which is never nice. And then maybe on another occasion you went to visit your grandmother and she'd left a pot on the stove and had forgotten, that she'd been cooking it. And when you came in, you could smell the smoke, and of course that's a big danger. So once you've explained these things to her, it's much more likely that she's going to accept that she's at the dementia unit when it's explained in a patient, loving, clear manner. Granny will no doubt understand that it's been coming on for a long time, but at least if she knows now she's at the dementia unit and you've explained it to her and all that's clear, at least that's the first thing that's been, in place. And you may have to repeat it from time to time, of course, if she forgets. Now, the second thing is orientating Granny to the dementia unit itself. Now, one of the best ways to do this is to just go for a walk around the unit. They're often circular, so just walk right around all the rooms and explain to Granny, okay, Granny, there's 30 people living here, and all these rooms here are bedrooms of the, residents that live here, including your bedroom. So orientate her to where her bedroom is, the name and number on the door, and all the direction orientation that goes with that. So she's got an initial understanding, at least there's a lot of people living here. They've all got their own bedroom. And of course explain, if it's the case, a bathroom as well, which she will as well, if everyone else does have that. So after that layout orientation, in terms of specific orientation, it's a good idea to just sit in the dining room's often a good idea, because then from the dining room you can see, often it's positioned so that you can see the nurse's station, the TV lounge, the front entrance, and then all the people coming and going. So you can explain to Granny what's happening with the scene before you. So you can say, look, Granny, that's the nurse's station on the left. So if you need anything, that's where you go to ask for anything that you'd like. This, where the TV is the lounge where the residents that live here watch television and have the activities, their daily activities that you know about now, the newspaper reading and the exercises and workshops, etc. And then if your grandmother's main carer, say Anna, comes walking along, just introduce her and say, oh, Anna, can you come over? Oh, now, Granny, this is Anna. She's your main carer. Anna's very friendly and lovely, and so, oh yes, it's lovely to, care for your grandmother, and, I'm enjoying it, and lovely to meet you. And on she goes. So everyone's busy, of course, in a dementia unit, but you can explain when the doctor comes in, of course, he's a bit more or she's a bit more identifiable. the charge nurses and the carers, the nurses and carers are often difficult to discern who's who. But as long as your grandmother knows her main carer, 5 days a week carer, which they often have here in New Zealand anyway, that's a great help. So you're orientated granny to the fact she's got dementia or memory loss, say, that she's in this unit. You've orientated her to the unit, and then you can say, okay, Granny, we'll just go and sit by the window now, and this unit that you're living in now is in the retirement village where you've been living for the last 10 years. You used to live in the apartment over there with Granddad, but when he passed away, you went to assisted living, which is just over there. Point in the direction, and now you're in the unit here for the people with memory loss. And we'll take you for a little walk of the retirement village next time I'm here, so we can work around the different facilities and you can orientate yourself to the layout of everything. So in that way, your granny knows why she's there. She knows the layout of the unit. She's been introduced to her main carer. She knows that the unit is in the same grounds as where she's been living for a long time. And she can start to absorb this quietly. And each time you come, you can give her reminders, refreshers around the corridor walks for direction, orientation, etc. And this will enable her so much to be able to adjust and settle living in a dementia unit. So these 2 books I've written on the topic, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise, both from a dementia unit, on Amazon and my website, pietavalentine.com. So thank you for your looks, your likes and your interest. Please subscribe. Thank you.